Will the Revere City Council Committee of the Whole please come to order? At this time, we'd like to have up here Kawatai with the George Scholarship. All right. Yeah. Superintendent Dianne Kelly. Who else? Who else? John? Huh? Mary Rigo?
Thank you, Bob.
All right. It's yours, Carol.
Thank you.
Right.
Good evening, everyone. This is such a joyous occasion. Whoops. Need a lip on the end here. Thank you. And I'd especially like to thank the Honorable City Council for hosting us here tonight and to share in the joy with us. So we're here to present the George V. Colella Academic Achievement Awards. Just about a week ago, the city dedicated a plaque which has been placed down by the front door of City Hall, and I encourage you to look at it as you are on your way out. And it reads this: George V. Colella, 1927 to 2010. This building is dedicated to the memory of George V. Colella, who served Revere for 50 years as mayor, councillor, and school committee man. He has the honor of being the longest serving elected official in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. May this serve as an enduring reminder of his loyal service and passionate dedication to the city of Revere. George Colella, born in 1920, graduated from Revere High School in 1945. He was the president of his class, and he probably would have entered the military service, except that thankfully World War II was over by then. So he and his high school sweetheart, June Murphy, went to college. She to Salem State, he to BU. They finished, they married, and they raised here in Revere 3 wonderful daughters, all of whom were graduates of Revere High School. And with us tonight is his daughter, Joni Bullock. Joni, could you please stand? So, since George did not go in the military, he dedicated himself to service to the family and to the community. Now, he had been raised in a family where his father was a Revere firefighter, where his mother was devoted to taking care of her children and her extended family. His brother Billy taught and coached at Revere High School. So this was a family who was embedded in education in Revere. It was paramount for himself and for his family. George had his own municipal library in his basement, and there are a few of us here who were taken down to his basement to learn a lot of things from him. And he never let you slide, ever. If he was sitting opposite the table with you, as he often was with me during teacher negotiations when I was a teacher and union leader at Revere High School, he never let you off easily. He always would question you. Well, why? Well, what do you think of this? Well, why do you think that's so? It's what every good teacher does. It's what you students out there probably recognize in the teachers you have had, who have so-called fed you enough but made you want more. That was George Colella. And he was a master at budgeting, which served me very well when I was superintendent of schools. There was a joke which is still around here today, I think a few people on the council might remember it, that George always had a bottom drawer. He budgeted, it was always right out there, but there was always a little extra in the bottom drawer. And I can say that whenever the kids of the Revere Public Schools needed it, he found that money in the bottom drawer. He was a forward-thinking mayor. During his time, there were 4 new schools that were built, and there were plans for the new high school, which is no longer new, but still there. In his golden years, he thought about young scholars. He thought about folks like you. Every year, there's a scholarship given in his name to a senior who is graduating from Revere High School. But he thought he wanted to reward kids who were exemplary scholars in their younger years so that they would continue along this pattern of excellence. He wanted to leave you something for your hard work, and that's what we're giving to you tonight. Not only the commemoration from the Honorable City Council, not only from the Committee for the George V. Colella Academic Achievement Awards, but a check that goes with it for $200. And maybe you'll use it to further your education in some way, because all learning is wonderful. Since the inception of these Academic Achievement Awards in 2011, we've given more than $7,500. Many of the recipients are now in high school and many even in college. If George were alive, he'd be turning 90 years old on Flag Day, June 14th, the day he was born. So the Young Scholars Program fulfills his goal of providing the highest quality of educational opportunities for the children of Revere. He would be so proud of all of you, as are all of we. So congratulations. And now, the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Dianne Kelly, will call the principals and we'll give the awards individually. Dr. Kelly?
Thank you, Ms. Ty. I just want to briefly say before we begin with our first school, which will be the Beachmont School, I just want to say, and I've said this before, but I want to reiterate how important it is and how wonderful it is to have these people in the community who really think long-term about the kids that are coming behind them and what they need. And Mr. Colella is certainly a testament to that. We couldn't do what we do in the schools if it wasn't for the community that is the city of Revere. And that's the city council and private citizens and former mayors and current mayor and everybody else that you can think of, the wonderful teachers, the wonderful parents who spend all of the time helping their kids achieve as much as they can. And so we appreciate all of the work that you do as partners with us to help these kids find success. So thank you very much. And I just want to read what the certificate says so that you'll all know. This is the George V. Colella Academic Achievement Award. In recognition of extraordinary and exemplary scholastic achievement in the attainment of the highest academic ranking in the 2016-2017 school year, it'll either be the 5th grade or the 8th grade, in the City of Revere public school system, special recognition is hereby granted to, and then each student is named. This certificate of academic achievement is presented by the George V. Colella Academic Achievement Award Committee in the City Council Joseph A. Del Grasso, City Council Chamber of Revere City Hall, this 5th day of June in the year of our Lord 2017 and of the independence of the United States of America in 240th. So this is the certificate that each student will receive. And now I'm going to ask Dr. Napier, principal of the Beachmont School, to come up and speak about the Beachmont recipient, who is Kendall Giordano.
So it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Kendall Giordano as the Beachmont School's Colella Award winner. When I think about students who've received this award over the years, the words intelligent, committed, and hardworking all come to mind. In addition to being all of those things, Kendall is also one of the nicest and caring students that I have come across. As educators, we all want to produce strong and high-achieving students. But what is even more important is that we produce good people. People we just know will grow up to do good things for their families, their communities, and for the world. Kendall is one of those students that we all know will do great things and make us proud. We look forward to seeing just how she will make her mark on the world. She is a stellar student. For as long as anyone can remember, she has been an academic star. Last year on the Park assessment, her ELA score was 1 point from perfect, and she also scored at the highest level in math. She is an A-plus student who will be in the pre-AP program at the Garfield Middle School. She is consistently one of the highest scorers on the interim math and reading assessments administered by the district, and she's the winner of this year's school spelling bee. However, Kendall is not only just a great student, she also has a great jump shot. At our school, we do a basketball knockout game where staff and students play each other. And I'm warming up, and when I look out of the side of my eye and I see this student just hitting shot after shot after shot, and I look closely and it's Kendall. And she gives me this look that says, "Yeah, I'm coming for you." So, in addition to teaching her teachers a lesson on the basketball court, she is also active in lacrosse as well as a midfielder. This well-rounded student is also a wonderful writer. She is currently working on her second book. Did you hear that? Her second book in a series that she is writing, and she hopes to transfer this love of writing into a professional career. But she also has interest in marine biology and architecture that she may very well pursue as well. Well, whatever she decides to do, we know that she will do it well. We are so proud of her, and it is my pleasure to present Kendall to you as the Beachmont Kalela Award winner.
Kendall, you want to say something? Want to say something? Okay.
Just
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Say thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Oh, y'all take a picture?
yep.
Hold this together.
Yeah. Kendall, congratulations. You want to go up this way? Back there?
Next, I would like to invite Mr. Coots up, who's going to speak about our next recipient from the Garfield Elementary School, Safaa Laroussi.
Good evening. My name's Corbett Coots. I'm the proud principal of the Garfield Elementary School. And before I begin talking about Safaa, I want to just thank Mayor Rigo and the City Council and Dr. Kelly and the school committee for continuing this amazing tradition for our students here in Revere. I know many of our students look forward to this, and it's great to see so many families here tonight, including Safaa's mother. So thank you for being here. Safaa has been a Garfield Gator since preschool, and she has been active in her school community. Safaa is on the Math League team, in Glee Club, participates in the Morning Fitness Blast, and has been in robotics for 2 years. And she got second place in our school-wide spelling bee this year. On the 4th grade Park assessments, Safaa scored a level 5 in both math and ELA, which are the highest levels that a student can earn. She has been on the principal's list in Respect Corps every trimester, and currently has an A+ in every subject. In Revere, we track comprehension using Lexile scores. When Safaa entered 5th grade, She had a Lexile of 1205, which is within the 9th grade expectation. A 100-point increase is generally a measure of success, and Safa's score has risen 390 points this year, bringing her to 1595, which is above the 12th grade grade level expectation. That's an amazing achievement. Congratulations. As you can tell, Safaa is very hardworking and driven. She loves to debate and to win. And she is quite happy to have been selected to receive the Kalela Award this evening. She hopes to one day be a senator. So Safaa also enjoys swimming and traveling and hopes to visit England, Holland, Belgium, and to name a few countries. Learning about Greek mythology is also a passion of hers, which led her to become a devoted Harry Potter head. So a few of her teachers are here tonight. I want to recognize Mrs. Brinkle and Mrs. Riley, as well as all of her teachers throughout the years at the Garfield, for all of their help and support with Safaa's schoolwork. And I also want to again recognize her family, who without their support and encouragement, none of this would have been possible. So congratulations, Safaa.
Okay, would you like to say anything? Want to say anything? Thank you or something? Go ahead. No, okay.
You don't have to.
Okay.
You want the band in the middle? Oh, come on, this way. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And now I'd like to invite up Mr. Mosher, principal of the Hill School, who will be presenting to Natalie Dominguez.
Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you. I'd like to recognize first Natalie's mom and dad, please. I'm very proud of her. And her teacher, her home teacher, Mr. Devines, in the front seat. Mr. Devine. And in the back, Ms. Semino and Ms. Ciano. Ms. Ciano, thank you. Natalie, in my conversation earlier, I took her in and she was absolutely, I wasn't surprised, but she was very happy and excited. And to just tell you, to give you an idea what kind of kid she is, I said to Natalie, I know there's a savings bond that's, I think, $200. He said, oh my word. And I said, and usually the principal or the assistant principal, if they're your favorite people, might get compensated somehow. And she said, you can have whatever you want, Mr. Mosher. And I said, I'm only kidding. It was a joke, right? But she said that. Natalie's mom and dad were born in Colombia, and Natalie has an older sister and an older brother. And Natalie can remember, this is way before you started school, with her dad spending time with her, teaching her how to read and write in Spanish. And then as she became a little older before she started school, she clearly remembers her older siblings sitting with her, working on reading and writing in English. In grades 3, 4, and 5, consistently on the principals and honor lists. Honor roll. Park scores advanced or proficient in grades 3 and 4, and we have not received our MCAS score for grade 5 yet. Consistently top scorer in our internal assessments, ANET and Mastery Connect, scoring way above the network in all her subjects, and really likes all subjects, right? You told me that. So either one, all subjects, she really enjoys her subjects. Member of the drama, wants to be a doctor because she wants to help people, and is trying to figure out which school, but it will be, and I have no doubt, either Harvard or Yale. correct, Natalie? Member of the drama club, likes to spend her leisure time listening to music, dancing and singing, and I think she'd be a wonderful fit next year at the SBA because of that. It is with great pride and pleasure to award the Colella Academic Achievement Award to Hill School, Natalie Dominguez. Congratulations.
What do you want to say?
Okay, you don't have. Okay, here's a check.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take a quick picture.
Okay.
And now I'd like to invite Mrs. Giannoti, principal of the Lincoln School, to come up and present to Layla Pereira Guarino.
So I'd like to thank Lila's family and her friends for coming to celebrate with her tonight and recognize her teachers, Ms. West and Mrs. DeSoto, for being here tonight as well. We are proud to have Layla Guarino as the Lincoln School Colella Award recipient. Layla embodies the characteristics for the Colella Award. Layla is a bright and dedicated young lady and a distinguished student at the Lincoln School. She has been on the principal's list every term since starting at the Lincoln School. She is a brilliant writer, and she excels through all of her studies. She is a high-level debater, and although she excels at all subjects, her favorite subject is math. While Layla certainly is a talented student academically, she's an even greater person. She's kind and compassionate and generous. She goes above and beyond what can be expected of a fifth grader and has a positive influence on all of those around her. She is a leader on our fifth grade student counselor. She is a homework club tutor and a role model in our school. She can always be found helping her fellow students and sharing her love of learning. Outside of school, she enjoys cheerleading, and she recently competed in a national competition in Disney World. Layla will attend the Garfield Middle School in the fall, where we know that she will continue to inspire all of those that she encounters. Congratulations, Layla.
Congratulations, okay? Would you like to say anything? No, okay.
Here's your award.
Some of them want to say?
Okay, get it right up in front of you. Get right up.
This
Right
one.
up to the end. Oh.
Congratulations again. Yes, you do. My pleasure.
And now I'd like to invite Mrs. Kelly up, who's going to present the Paul Revere Award to Annabella Sandy Roche.
Congratulations. Good job.
I have to tell you something, Annabella doesn't know this, but when Annabella came to our school, the name just sang a song to me, Annabella Cindy Roach. And I said, I like my name, but I wish I had that name. So to stand here with her tonight is like giving me tingles because I always wanted her name, and she didn't know that. It just flows, doesn't it, right off your tongue. So I love her name, and I love her. So Annabella is one of our 5th grade students, and Kendall, as Dr. Napier was talking about you, I thought he was talking about Annabella, because Annabella also wants to be a marine biologist, just like you. And she's going to the Garfield Middle School, just like you. You never know, you might team up, right? Annabella, just like all the other students, has one of the highest scores at our school in Mastery Connect. She has a 93 average in both literacy and math. Her POC scores are level 5. She was an 830 student for her scores in both ELA and math in grade 3 and in grade 4. Can't wait for the grade 5 scores. Her Lexile level, just like Kendall, when I heard, had 1,400 coming in. She's at 620 right now in grade 5, and that's outstanding. Annabella plays the guitar at our school. She also plays the recorder and piano. She does so well academically. I said, what is your favorite subject? And I really thought it was going to be math. It's art, because she loves to draw and loves to be an artist. So that's one of her favorite things to do. The other favorite thing she loves to do is visit the aquarium. Well, if you're going to be a marine biologist, that's where you want to go, right? So I said, well, what about the ocean and going down and taking walks? No, I'd rather go to the aquarium. I have a pool. So that was one of her things. But the other favorite thing she loves to do is read. And I just found this out, that when her mother and father, and they're both here, so I want to recognize her mother is right here videotaping, and she has 2 little sisters. The one you heard crying, and Dad's outside there, he's got her quiet. She wanted to be up here too, I think. But one of the things that they do to punishment, and I'm sure Annabella never gets any punishment because of the kind of student she is, they have to take away reading, and she's forbidden to read. Did you ever hear of a child saying you can't read? So to me, that was like incredible, because Annabella is just so perfect. So we want to thank her teacher, Mrs. Bonfiglio's here, her 5th grade science teacher, and all her teachers at the Revere School. Everybody loves Annabella, just like all the other students here. So I think getting this Kallela Award for Annabella is just absolutely perfect. She's one of those all-around perfect young girls with beautiful blue eyes that just shine when she smiles. So Annabella, congratulations. And maybe you'll share your name with me, right? And Mrs. Quirk is also here, our assistant principal. I'll squeeze in here. Brian, next to you. Annabella, cover Mrs. Kelly's silly.
You want to take this, Annabelle?
Over?
Yep.
Okay.
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 No,
Don't go behind Annabella.
Right.
Okay. Well, she's bigger than. I made you wrong.
Oh, good job.
Right.
Look at your sister. Okay. Congratulations,
Annabelle,
Annabella.
there's your check. Congratulations.
She's a beautiful girl.
Thank you, Ann.
So for the last of our elementary schools, I'd like to invite Mrs. Flynn up, who's going to present the Whelan School Kallela Award to Juan Pablo, Chica, Chavarria.
I'm very excited this evening to present this award to Juan Pablo, also known as JP. And his teachers are here with me, as well as the assistant principal, Beth Delaney, Miss Mason, and Miss Nickerson. JP, as he likes to be called, is an outstanding student. He always works very hard and he strives for excellence. He has earned advanced in both his math and his ELA assessments. He's one of the highest scorers in our Mastery Connect in both of our ELA and math. When I asked his teachers, what would you like to share about JP? Miss Nelson, his second grade teacher, immediately responded and said, I love him. Miss Paoni, his computer teacher, added, it has been my pleasure teaching JP in computer class during his school years at the Whelan. He brought such enthusiasm to the computer lab each time he entered, whether it was typing a project, computer programming, internet research, slideshow presentations. He joyfully completed every assignment, and he would be questioning for more knowledge about every topic that we explored. He's an exemplary student. He's always striving to learn more. Miss Nickerson shared the following, I can't think of anyone who deserves this award more. He's a good friend to everyone and always chooses to make good choices, from following directions to helping others. His teachers are so excited that he earned this award. At the beginning of this school year, we received a new student to our classroom. The student was from Colombia. JP immediately took it upon himself to help translate. If needed, he would work with the new student without even being asked. He has been trying to teach this new friend English, and since he's taken him under his wing, the new student has shined. JP himself came from Colombia 6 years ago, and he has excelled in learning English to the point where he is a straight A student in all trimesters in 5th grade. At home, he enjoys playing soccer in his free time. He loves to play with his dogs. He thoroughly enjoys helping his friends study, especially those friends that live nearby. He helps his cousins with projects and homework. And both his mom and his dad are here tonight. Mom added that he really enjoys helping Mom around the house whenever he can. Overall, JP is a respectful, kind, caring, and conscientious young man. It is an honor to recognize him with this award. Congratulations.
Microphone down. Thank you. Yeah, squeeze right into him. Oh, but don't forget to take the check.
Okay, to present the first of our middle school awards, I'm going to invite Dr. Meyer, principal of the Garfield Middle School, to present the award to Nada Abou Hadiba.
Good evening. I have with me Mr. Matera is Nada's social studies teacher, and I'd also like to welcome Nada's parents who are filming. I'd also like to say welcome to all the 5th graders who will be attending Garfield Middle School next year. You're going to love the Garfield, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you. So, I have the honor of introducing Nada Abou Hadiba as the Kalela Award recipient for Garfield Middle School. This may be the first time you've heard her name, but I assure you it won't be the last. I'd like to tell you what some of her teachers had to say about her, and Mr. Matera, I'm sure, can attest to what we all said. Nada Abou Hadiba is every teacher's dream. She is consistently positive, hardworking, kind, cooperative, determined, and engaged in learning. As a top student, she stands out as someone who was always looking to improve, even when her averages were regularly in the 90s. Nada constantly requests feedback from her teachers on how she can improve both in and out of class. Nada does not accept anything other than perfection and will work hard at any topic until she has completely mastered it. Overall, she's a model of diligence, ambition, perseverance, and growth mindset. And perseverance. GMS teachers are honored to have Nada as a student, and we all look forward to watching her succeed in high school, college, and beyond. Congratulations, Nada. This is where you shake everybody's hand.
That's your check. Right?
You should probably get on the other side of you.
Yeah.
We have, this is down pat. You move forward.
Okay.
We've
Okay,
been working
you
on it
move
for a
forward
long
too.
time.
All right, there we go. Just go. Great job.
Great job. Great job. Congratulations.
Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Gallucci, principal of the Rumney Marsh Academy, to present the Rumney Award to Viktoriya Kalinina.
I just whispered to Viktoriya, I hope my speech tonight is half as good as her Aspirer's speech. It was truly amazing, and I actually framed my speech around your speech, so I hope you don't mind. Viktoriya is a polite, unassuming, and very quiet student. So when she chose to base her Aspirer's speech on a top 10 things that I can improve on when I get to middle school note that she found in the 5th grade, I think the audience was a bit shocked at her Letterman-esque decision for her Aspirer's speech, but Viktoriya nailed it. She mixed in the perfect amount of humor and insight that brought many audience members to tears. Truly, in her speech, she said she's an overachiever. She actually added an 11th to-do item to the 10-bullet list. And I'm here tonight to say you are an overachiever, Viktoriya, as you said in your speech, and that's what makes you so great. When it comes to academics, Viktoriya is second to none. She has made principals list 10 out of 11 terms at the RMA, a truly amazing feat. And that's with a full pre-AP caseload since she walked in the doors as a 6th grader. On standardized testing, she scored advanced 10 of the 11 exams she's taken since 3rd grade. 2 perfect scores, 1 in English, 1 in math, and an advanced score in science as a 5th grader. Truly amazing. She's had 2 state finalist finishes for History Fair and 1 regional finalist for Science Fair where she attended the district fair. In terms of academics, Viktoriya is truly second to none. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments academically. Beyond her academic work, Viktoriya is truly one of the kindest students we have in our school, according to all of her teachers, her friends, her classmates, and pretty much everybody that comes into contact with her. I'm going to read a quote from Mr. Nolo, her math teacher, that really sums up and captures Viktoriya. She wrote, "Viktoriya is one of the hardest working and most driven students I have ever worked with. I know I am not alone in wanting her to put less pressure on herself and to relax a bit more, but that's just not her nature. Viktoriya constantly seeks to improve at everything she does and solicits feedback even when she earns an A. And her hard work has definitely paid off. Her math assignments are often near perfect. No easy feat in Mr. Nolo's class, right? That's amazing. Her documentary for History Fair was in-depth and compelling, and her speech for our Aspirers ceremony stole the show. Congratulations, Viktoriya. One final note. During her acceptance speech, one of Viktoriya's 10 items was to gain more confidence in middle school. And I'm here to tell you tonight, officially, you can cross that off your to-do list because you should be full of self-confidence with all you've accomplished in your 3 years at the RMA. Congratulations, Viktoriya. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're supposed to be here. You go with her.
Sorry, Viktoriya.
Yeah.
Good job. Congratulations, Victoria. Look forward to watching the success of high school.
Congratulations. Job well done.
And the last of the Colella Awards will be presented by Mrs. Willett, principal of the Susan B. Anthony Middle School, to Sydney Ciano.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce some SBA teachers with me tonight to present this wonderful award to our wonderful student, Sydney Ciano. We have Mr. Nazaro, her 8th grade ELA teacher, as well as Mr. Justin and Mr. Brandon Pizzuto, who were both Sydney's teachers, and Mr. DeFranzo, her 7th grade and 6th grade pre-AP math teacher. Also, welcome to her parents and her sister in the audience. A person just meeting Sydney Ciano would be struck by her poise, her calm demeanor, and the gracefulness that betrays her training as a dancer. Teachers who have the privilege of having Sydney in class would add her sense of responsibility, work ethic, and a sharp intelligence. For all 3 years at SBA, Sydney has excelled in her pre-AP classes and has always been a model student. I'm sure the same can be said about all of the other George Colella Award recipients tonight, so I'm excited to fill you in on the real Sydney Ciano, or Squid, to her favorite teachers, Mr. Justin and Mr. Brandon Pizzuto. Sydney has an obsession with global warming awareness. She has binders of data and articles that has evidence defending the ideas of climate change and global warming. Every morning since 6th grade, Sydney comes to school early to visit with the Pizzutos, always updating their agenda boards with the correct day and date. Her love for science has extended to her own YouTube channel, Science with Sid, originally producing videos in order to study for exams. Each week, there is a new video that corresponded to the concepts from science class. Sydney is also an accomplished fairgoer, as in history and science fairs. Sydney's science fair projects have all made it to higher levels, culminating this year with an honorable mention over the weekend at the State Science Fair. Last year, Sydney was chosen to attend the National History Day in Washington, D.C., representing the state of Massachusetts as well as the city of Revere. This year, Sydney was inducted into the SBA Aspirers Club and will be attending Revere High School next year, joining her older sister, Allie, who was the SBA George Colella Academic Award recipient in 2014. It is with great pleasure that I introduce the 2017 George Colella SBA Academic Award recipient, Sydney Ciano.
A little forward, Carol.
Oh, okay. Okay, come on. Oh, we don't have to worry about it. Is your sister with you tonight?
That's all in the phone.
Oh, yeah, okay. Stay in the bottom of my car. Good to see you. No, actually, John Powers should. Okay, yeah.
Hey, John.
Could you call? Where is she here? She's here. Oh, yeah.
At the end, right? Carol, is Kay here?
Yeah, she is.
It's not?
That's, you know what, it's probably in the bottom of my car.
Okay, that's all right.
Out.
That's all right. You're gonna come up, absolutely. Who's gonna run this?
John.
John?
Good evening. Being a city councilor, this is probably one of the greatest things that you can do, when you can reach out in some little way and help a student or a person that lives in the community, because that's what all of us here are about, our community. And I think that's so important. I'm going to ask Kay Romano, would you please come up here, Kay? Kay is the chairperson of our committee, and she works on it day after day, week after week, every year, keeps all of our records, and always gets it right. So here she is, Kay Romano.
That's right. First and foremost, I do want to welcome each and every one of you for being here and for staying here to listen to our award presentation. I hope you can all hear me. Is that right?
Without question.
My name is Catherine Romano, and I am the retired Whelan School principal. Matter of fact, I wore this today, so in case I should get lost, you'll know where to send me. Unbelievable, but true. This is our 17th year. Now, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, there are 351 cities and towns, but not every city and town has a community scholarship program. So I ask, how did Revere get involved with a community scholarship program? It was the vision of the late George V. Colella, and I think his portrait is here, isn't that? George V. Colella was an avid reader. And one time he was reading that the city of Newton got involved. So he said to himself, if Newton got involved, why don't we try it in Revere? So sure enough, he had to appear submitted a motion before the entire city council, who voted unanimously to try this. And helping him was Councillor John F. Powers. Is he right here? Okay. And that was a second motion that had to be placed in. Because after a while, when these two gentlemen attended a Revere High graduation ceremony, they didn't see any youngsters getting any money from this scholarship. So they approached the mayor. The mayor at the time was Mayor Ambrosino, asking Mayor Ambrosino to formulate a committee to see what we do with the money and how we spend it. That's a big problem, isn't it?
It certainly was.
So that's how we got the Revere Community Scholarship Program. At this time, I have to thank all of us who donated, who are making tonight possible. I also have to thank the committee, and I'll give you the names of the committee members. Dr. Dianne Kelly, who by law has to be a member of the committee. That was right in the statute.
And doesn't mind doing it.
Okay. And that's right, by law, right in the statute. And of course, it was City Councilor Bob Hass who signed it because he was mayor, you were mayor at the time. And then you made this a city ordinance, and that's why we're here. The other members of the committee are George Anzoni, he's the Director of Finance. I mentioned Councillor John F. Powers, a city councillor. Carol A. Tye, who was superintendent of schools at the time, and you by law had to be a member of the committee. And what?
And I found you.
That's right. She's the one that submitted my name. I've been working ever since on this.
I knew she would.
And also a member is Dr. Gennaro Cataldo. He is a local dentist, and he's also a Boston University professor. And also Dr. Paul Dakin, another superintendent. As a matter of fact, I was able to attend my college alumni weekend, past 3 days. It was fantastic, and his name came up. So, Revere has gone long and far. Now, this scholarship is definitely needed because there is really a need for the money. College tuitions are very high. I must tell you that to date, the committee has received 394 applications. That's about 400 applications. So it proves to us that they need this. And to date, we have awarded $113,500. Thanks to all the generous donors. That's almost $114,000 to 31 students who are going far and wide, some of whom have even got a scholarship because of starting over here with this scholarship, went to University of Mass in Amherst. From there, freshman year in the summer, went over to San Francisco for an internship in biology, and then he was called to go to Oxford in England. I think that's fantastic for Revere. Make a long story short, he graduated with a bachelor's degree, but right now he's busy at work. He got a 6-year completely paid grant to study biology, major in biology, at Harvard Medical School. Now, I think that's an accomplishment. And it's really an accomplishment for the city of Revere. When I first accepted this job, and my first speech was, I thought this was a rising star for the city of Revere, and I'm sure you have to admit it, right? We're still rising. Tonight's recipients, we're giving away 2 $5,000 scholarships and 4 $2,500 scholarships. The recipients here, I called each and every one of them. Anyone who's getting one of these scholarships?
We ask them to come up now?
Yes, please come up. Yeah, why don't you call their names up?
They know who they are. So are these to the 5,000?
Yeah, I got them right here. Well,
All right.
as long as we get, let's get the group up. Is that right? We have to get the group up here. Okay, why don't you get right around here?
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
That's right, don't leave, we need you.
Congratulations. Boy, have you grown.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, why don't we get by?
Thank you.
I did call each and every one of them about 10 days ago after mailing to you this letter, but I did tell them when you come up, be prepared to give your name and tell us which college you're going to and what is your field of endeavor. So I'm sure they're all prepared for that. So I am going to begin. $5,000 to Mr. Rupesh Danuwar, right over here. Why don't you come over here? And why don't you say a few words?
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm actually going to Mass Pharmacy College to study my pre-dental program over there, and I'm absolutely honored to get that grant. Like, this is going to be really, really helpful to me because this college is like really expensive, and then and then I also got like a lot of scholarship from that college. So yeah, this is going to be really, really helpful to me. All right, thank you so much.
$5,000 to David Diaz Jr.
I'd like to thank the entire city of Revere for just giving me the opportunity to be awarded this scholarship, and also for a solid, a great education from the Whelan School to the SBA and all the way to Revere High. Next year I'll be attending the University of Massachusetts Lowell. I'll be majoring in finance.
Fantastic, right here. Wonderful. $2,500 to Hannah. Where is Hannah? Right here. And why don't you pronounce your last name nice and loud?
My name is Hannah Abdul Wahab. I want to thank the City of Revere for giving me this scholarship. I'll be furthering my education at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and I hope to study criminal justice.
Fantastic. Another scholarship for $2,500 to Mr. Anthony DiStefano. Okay, we'll save it for him. $2,500 to Brendan Hayes.
I'm Brendan Hayes, and I'd like to thank the city for the scholarship. It's definitely going to help, and I'm going to the University of Tampa to study human performance next year.
Fantastic. And our last $2,500 scholarship to Sean Kirby.
I'd like to thank I would like to thank the City of Revere for giving me this amazing award. I plan to go to UMass Boston next year for computer science. I really want to be able to get into the technology industry, and I thank you, everyone, so much for this.
What? What you saying?
Let's get all the city councilors up here. Let the kids stand
I
up.
can't hear. Oh, you want a photo? I have something else to say. I got a piece of advice for all of us, really. At this time, I must congratulate all these hardworking students. It got you here. Now, I want you to continue your hard work and your study, because I want to leave you with one thought in mind. There is a Chinese proverb that says there are 5 points to a compass: north, south, east, west. But the most important point is the point that we are standing on. And you think about it, yes, we have an awful lot in our power to do. So this is the most important point. And I do hope that all of you are going to remember that and work very hard. Because if you do, before you know it, you're going to be achieving the impossible dream. It's possible. I mean, I've seen this many, many times. Just keep at it. Try your very, very best.
Nicely said, Pat.
At this time, I don't know if I mentioned the mayor beforehand as being a member of the committee.
You didn't, but it's okay.
Well, all right, never late than never. Okay, and at this time, I'd like to call upon Councillor Jonathan Powers, who may tell us more about how this got started in the city of Revere. We're going to take a photo with all of us? Oh, go closer? Okay.
The plans for this scholarship originated on Beacon Hill in Boston in 1986. And as a result of Chapter 60, Section 3C, this scholarship committee was created. And Judge Colella, and not myself, had the vision at that time to get everybody together, get a committee started, and get this moving. And I had the occasion to spend I think it was the year 2000 with George Colella at the graduation, and we were talking back and forth, and we noticed that there was no community scholarship. As a result of that, he and I filed a motion to reactivate the community scholarship. And as Kay alluded to, since that time, we've given out, the committee has given out $113,000 to 30-plus individuals to further their education. And that happens because people take the time and are generous enough to put $5, $10, $2, $100. It doesn't matter, as long as they put something into that envelope when they send their taxes back, or they can call Catherine Romano. And we want to keep Catherine Romano busy. And the only way we're going to do that is by raising more money to send more kids to college and further their education. And I think that's probably the greatest thing that anyone in this city can do when they make that contribution. You get your tax bill, you pay your taxes, another $5, another $10 isn't going to hurt you. And I also like to mention that Catherine Romano has all of the records for the scholarship committee. If she didn't show up here tonight, we wouldn't have any of that information. And I kept looking for her, and she was, finally somebody pointed out, Councillor Zambuto, that she was sitting out in the back row. But Catherine does a fantastic job. Catherine, Carol Ty, myself, and Dr. Kelly spent 2.5 hours a couple of weeks ago at the high school going over all of the scholarship applicants. And scholarships are awarded basically for several reasons. And that's part of the legislation of Chapter 60. First of all, they have to be academically up there, okay? That's number one. Number two, they have to have good character. And number three, they have to have an unmet need regarding the college they're going to. Where the parents can't afford it, they can only afford so much. So we go through all of that, we look at their class standing, and we make a decision. And I think we've, so far, in the past 16 years, chosen very wisely for all the children in the school system. Thank you.
Very good. That's really good.
All right, do we want to put the kids in the front?
Get the kids up. Get over here.
I want to see the kids.
Let the kids go. That's right, 6 of them. There should be 6. Oh, 5. 5 are here. Squeeze in. Squeeze in.
I don't know if I can.
I spent 3 days of my college.
Go right up. George, get in. George, get in.
Come on, George, get in.
The students, when you're done, stay right where you are, because I want you guys by yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good job, guys. Congratulations.
Come right up here and get together.
Congratulations.
Oh.
You got your letter and you know how.
The kids only. Kids only, so I need this.
Okay, great. Kids only.
Kids only. Tonight.
Here we go.
Yep.
We said kids only.
Kids only, Bob.
The layout.
Hey, the side a little bit. Perfect. Come forward.
Congratulations again.